Let's start with staying on track and continue what we're doing. Welcome everyone to the second episode of the Vikings Scenario Series. Today we're taking a look at the scenario of staying on track, just continue what we're doing and not trading away too much or acquiring new players, just seeing what we can achieve with the current team, of course having additions in free agency and the draft over the seasons, but for this season I won't change anything and will just continue with the team. With that said, let's go through the regular season. Week 10 has arrived. We're currently 4-4, but the more important news is that I signed Anthony Barr, Sheldon Richardson and Mackenzie Alexander back to new deals. Season is over, we did not make it to the playoffs, and the Green Bay Packers lost against the Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl. For us, it was a pretty average season. We finished with 7-10, so one win less than the Vikings had in reality, finishing third in our division. So as expected, we're still a pretty middle of the road team. In season 1, no playoffs for us. Season awards, Derrick Henry is dominating the league, but no awards for us. Pro Bowl Dalvin Cook made it with almost 1,800 yards, 17 touchdowns and also almost 200 receiving yards. So a good season for our running back. Other than that, we also had Bradbury, our center, in the Pro Bowl roster. Michael Pierce on defensive tackle. In terms of statistics, we finished 5 in yards per game, but only 26 in points per game. So offense not really clicking. Passing games were middle of the league and leading the league in terms of rushing. So that was our strong part. Maybe we can build up on that. Defensively, we were really good against the rush, top 10 defense. Also with our 2 defensive tackles, Michael Pierce and Sheldon Richardson, that really helped us. Passing, not so good, so maybe we need new cornerbacks. Mackenzie Alexander leading our team, and I re-signed him to a 3-year deal. Let's see if he can help us in the future. Eric Kendricks leading our team with 9 sacks, and Justin Jefferson leading our team in terms of receiving yards with 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins pretty average, only 17 touchdowns. That is not a lot. 10 interceptions, so not the best quarterback play we've seen from him. This is the end of the 2021 season, and with that said, let's head into the offseason. Off-season's over, I made a few moves. Here you can already see that I traded down in the draft. I had pick 10, traded down with the Bills to pick 20, and also traded away one of our guards to get a 2nd and 5th round pick for the draft in addition to that. And with that, with pick 20, I drafted James Benavides or Benavides, whatever, 84 overall guard, only 20 years old and focus on run blocking. We're building a run-heavy offense with Dalvin Cook as our running back, so he fits perfectly into what we're looking for, a guard for our team. Other than that, I drafted Grant Donnell in the second round, 76 overall, 86 tackling, so he could be a good linebacker. I also drafted a wide receiver in the third round with 89 speed. A safety in the fifth round, so Michael Odom. Let's see if he can see some snaps. Or my second round pick, free safety, could be a bust, only 66 overall, but really good speed. We needed to do something on edge, but Robert Johnson looks like a bust, 58 overall, awesome strength, but other than that, not much to work for. Fourth round pick, 20 years old, so maybe potential for the future, especially with the good personality. We did not solve our second edge problem next to Daniel Hunter. And that is why I needed to make a trade. Efe Obada was on the trade block for the Bills. And I traded away Delvin Tomlinson, our third defensive tackle. Maybe not the best trade for us, but we also got a 6th round pick in return. We needed edge so badly. Efe Obada is a 78 overall, only 1 year contract, but he's kind of a rental. We need edge and we're trying to stay competitive without going too much all in. That's the next video. Other than that, I signed Alex Anzalone, 79 overall linebacker in free agency. Yeah, that was the only thing we could do in free agency. There were pretty good players, but we're pretty tight on salary. As you can see, only a little bit more than 100,000 left in cap space. So not much room to operate to bring in really good new players. I brought in Ndamukong Kongsu as a new backup on defensive tackle. And looking at the team in year 2, our rookie wide receiver is starting on wide receiver 3. And other than that, James Benavides is starting on guard. And defensively, Efe Obada is starting 77 overall, actually. Grant Donnell, linebacker that I drafted, also playing here together with Alex Anzalone, who we signed in free agency. With that said, let's jump into the season. Bad news to start the season. We're 0-3 after 3 games, last place in the NFC North, and in addition to that, we're running out of salary cap. I was able to re-sign Patrick Peterson to a very expensive 1-year deal, but we do not have the offer to bring back Anthony Barr. I offered him already 17 million, but looking at the contract situation, we only have 16 million left for next year, and their draft class is not even included there. So most likely, if we want to be able to sign anyone in free agency, we cannot bring him back. Kirk Cousins' deal is taking a lot of money, and Adam Thielen also very expensive. But yeah, unfortunately, we need to say goodbye to some players that we're just not able to bring back. Also, injuries becoming a problem. Adam Thielen is out for the year. Anthony Barr missed since the start of the season. Sheldon Richardson questionable. So we're not having much luck right now. A horrible year for us ends with 4-13. So being a middle of the road team just led us in our second season to becoming one of the worst teams in the NFL. We should have the 3rd overall pick. So pretty bad performance from us. Our defense got worse. Actually, we're having the worst pass defense in the league. Rushing defense was once again good. We're also the best rushing offense in the league. But in terms of passing, really bad. Kirk Cousins does not seem to be the answer. Only 2,800 yards, 18 touchdowns. So not the impact he should have. Dalvin Cook, on the other hand, played good once again. Nearly 2,000 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns. That's really good. Justin Jefferson led the team again in terms of yards. Got worse, like the whole overall team, but still our best weapon. Alex Anzalone, our new addition, led the team with 7 sacks, and Patrick Peterson had 4 interceptions, but it was just not enough. A horrible season ends with a team that should not be that bad. Let's see if next season is becoming a little bit better again. Season 3 starts a little bit better. You can see a key free agency signing here. Cameron Jordan, 98 overall. His strength is really good, good intelligence, good tackling. He can be our cornerstone player for 1, 2, or 3 years. Let's see when he decides to retire with 34 years old. And the reason why we were able to sign him was just because we were not able to bring back Anthony Barr, who signed a top-notch free agency contract with another team. And Harrison Smith, our strong safety, decided to leave the team, unfortunately, I guess into retirement, couldn't find him, so just did not want to be a part of this scenario. Well, completely understandable after the last season. With the 3rd overall pick, I drafted Alfredo Kirby, wide receiver, and he is going to take over for Adam Thielen, who will most likely have his last season for us now. Awesome speed, hands, and agility, pretty well rounded. I think Alfredo Kirby could be a good player for us, for sure a day 1 starter. Other than that, I drafted a cornerback, top of the 2nd round, 76 overall, was projected to be a top 10 pick. So we were able to grab him in round 2, will also start for us. Other than that, the rest of the draft is pretty much only good for depth. Other than that, I also signed a kicker and punter. Yes, special teamers are important as well. And I traded Christian Darrisaw out of cap reasons for a 2nd round pick to the Bengals. So not too many changes. Alfredo Kirby being wide receiver 2. Other than that, O-line stays the same, and the rest of the offense as well. Defense, Cameron Jordan is our new and hopefully missing piece to create a great D-line. Awesome defensive tackles, and now also 2 elite edge rushers. And on corner, as said, Alton Almond, our 2nd round pick, starting on cornerback 2. Harrison Smith is gone, so on strong safety, Michael Odom starts. Kirk Cousins also not getting younger, playing on his final year of the contract, and most likely I will not extend him. The money that we would save to not bring Kirk Cousins back, well, we already spent it on Garrett Bradbury, our starting center, Michael Pierce, starting defensive tackle, and Patrick Peterson, our cornerback. Still trying to bring back Justin Jefferson, but until now he's not willing to sign the contract just yet. We are 2-4 and once again last place in the NFC North. That needs to get better. One reason we're not performing too well are all those injuries. Our starting guards are probable or doubtful, and there are lots of injuries that we have right now. Good news, Justin Jefferson signed a 5-year contract worth $26 million per year. And another good news, we are on top of the NFC North. After a winning streak of 4 wins, we're now 6-4 and leading the division. And when saying that we used all of Kirk Cousins' contract for other deals, I literally meant that. As you can see, we only have $6 million of projected cap room for next year, not including free agents or draft picks. So we need to get creative how to free up some cap space. And the season is over. We're finishing 11-6 and winning the NFC North. A big jump up compared to last season. Also, stats are looking fairly good, at least on offensive side. Dalvin Cook still leading rusher, and Alfredo Kirby in his rookie season with more than 1,000 yards, only 2 touchdowns. That could be better, but he made an impact. Dalvin Cook, 18 rushing touchdowns, so he's playing like an MVP. For Kirk, also a little jump in his final year, got back to the yards from season one, actually had 28 touchdowns, so the highest he's had for us so far, and only 8 interceptions, so he got a little bit better. Justin Jefferson with 12 touchdowns on the year, also over 1,000 yards, so well worth the contract. He's now up to a 93 overall and earning top-notch wide receiver money here in the game. Defensively, our rookie Elton Almond with 4 interceptions, so not bad performance of our top rookies in round 1 and 2. In terms of sacks, Danielle Hunter with 10 and Cameron Jordan, our new addition, only with 6. So first playoff appearance in the scenario, stay on track. Let's see if we can beat the New Orleans Saints. Minnesota Miracle, I guess. So we're now in the divisional round. What a performance. And now playing against the LA Rams. And we win again. That is amazing. Now conference championship against the Seattle Seahawks. And we lose in overtime, so we cannot get into the Super Bowl. But not bad for a middle of the road team, and following the strategy to stay on track after a really bad season last year, this was a pretty successful season in my opinion. Just losing in the conference championship game, and Seattle Seahawks win it all. Another Pro Bowl for Dalvin Cook, well deserved. Garrett Bradbury also with his second one. Michael Pierce with his third one in 3 years. Kendricks is in here. Odom, our 5th round second year player. That is pretty good. So we had 2 pretty decent drafts who helped us to stay on track, yes, but actually achieved the championship game in season 3. Let's see how season 4 looks like. 2024, we did not bring back Kirk Cousins, and then he decided to retire. Adam Thielen retired, and Sheldon Richardson as well. So we had a little bit of cap room to spend, but unfortunately not on a quarterback. I offered deals to Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, and Russell Wilson. Neither of them decided to join the Minnesota Vikings. But instead of a quarterback, I brought in help on the O-line and on the defensive side, Elijah Vera Tucker, 7-year deal, and Adoree Jackson, 3-year deal. He's already 28 years old. Backloaded to have a little bit of cap space for this season. 97 overall, so really good here in the game. And then with our first round pick, I decided to bring in a new quarterback. I traded up 8 spots to secure him at middle of round 1. Isaac Staples, 80 overall quarterback. A really, really bad arm, but decent intelligence and accuracy. Let's hope that he can play nearly as good as Kirk Cousins. That would be enough, because our run game is the main target here. Did not want to go in the season with Kellen Mond, so new QB1 for us. Other than that, I brought in a tight end, round 2, Adrian Brown. And the rest is nearly here for depth. 2 defensive tackles. I reached for both of them with the second and third round pick. So unfortunately, no upgrade there to replace Sheldon Richardson. But the depth chart looks good. Either way, Isaac Staples, new QB1, wide receiver, no Adam Thielen. So our third wide receiver from the first draft is coming back into the lineup. Alfredo Kirby, great rookie season starting again. Adrian Brown, tight end number 2, maybe taking over for Irv Smith next season. And Elijah Vera Tucker to really fulfill a really awesome O-line. Defensively, James Hickman, rookie defensive tackle, is taking over for Sheldon Richardson. Not the best solution, but yeah, we reached in the draft and now I have to live with that. Linebacker, no changes here. Cornerback, Adoree Jackson is going to be our new CB1. And on safety, Michael Odom, 5th round pick after his first Pro Bowl appearance, will also continue to start as a strong safety. A lot of free agents this year. We cannot sign them all, but hopefully bringing back Brian O'Neill and Ezra Cleveland as our tackle duo. And let's see what we're doing with the rest of the free agents. It's week 8. We're currently 5-2, so performing well once again. And Ezra Cleveland, Cameron Bynum, and Brian O'Neill signed their offers. And that's it. I cannot sign anyone else. We're already over the cap room for next year. With all the cap room already spent and all those players leaving, we need to find a solution how we can bring in new players again. Right now, it's not looking good for next season. But the focus still is on this season. All games are played. I don't know why everyone had 2 bye weeks this year, but with 16 games played, we're 10-6, winning the division. A really great division, no one with a losing record. And offensively, we are crushing it regarding rushing. Dalvin Cook this time over 2,000 yards. He is playing awesome. 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, and on receiving another touchdown and nearly 300 receiving yards. Our rookie also not too bad. Over 3,000 yards, 31 touchdowns with only 7 interceptions. Not bad for a rookie. Justin Jefferson leading our team again with over 4,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. Danielle Hunter, 10 sacks, and Adoree Jackson, our new addition, with 6 interceptions. But nevertheless, our defense looks horrible, especially regarding the pass. Rushing defense is good, but maybe it's a coaching thing that our coaches are not good enough. Thought about changing the coaches, but after the great season last year, I stuck with them, and we need to live with that we are not able to defend the pass. But our offense is so good that we're in the playoffs once again. This time against the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're winning. That's really great. So once again, a playoff win in the wild card round. Now against the Seahawks. We lost against them last year in the championship game. Let's first sim the other games and hope Michael Thomas disappears here. Let's sim the game. And we lost again against the Seattle Seahawks. So we're out in the divisional championship and need to look for the next season. Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. Season awards, our quarterback Isaac Staples is Rookie of the Year. He's not making the Pro Bowl though, but it's Dalvin Cook as always. Banner White's our guard making the Pro Bowl. O'Neill and Bradbury, that shows how great our O-line is. That was especially helpful for our rookie quarterback. I imagine Adoree Jackson also in the Pro Bowl. Eric Kendricks with 3 sacks, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, and 108 tackles. Well deserved. Michael Pierce, as always. And other than that, no one else. That's the end of the 2024 season. Let's head into the last one. Final year, final off season, and it was a weird one. In the draft, I traded down a few spots to the second round because no one really was available. And I gave away Cameron Jordan for nothing. That's kind of releasing him. I just got back 2 very, very bad backups just to fill up the roster. I thought about it, but I needed to get rid of Cameron Jordan to have a little bit of cap room to operate. Then I signed Ed Oliver and DeMarcus Lawrence for very cheap deals in free agency. But in terms of rookies, it was a very weird draft class. As said, I traded down to the second round to draft David Edwards, linebacker, 24 years old. So one of the only players I'm drafting who's that old, but still we needed someone playing on linebacker. He was available. And in the second round, I Drafted a tight end. We also need tight end depth, and the same for free safety, third round pick. And other than that, not many good players, but they're just here to fill up the roster. The depth chart for the final season also looks a little bit different. Many new backups for us, but in terms of starters, nothing changed on the offensive side of the ball. David Cooper, tight end number 2. And defensively, Ed Oliver and DeMarcus Lawrence are stepping in for our D-line. On linebacker, we drafted David Edwards. On the secondary, not much change except from our third round safety. So with that team, we're going into the final season. Although this is the final year, I made some contract offers and signed back Michael Pierce, Danielle Hunter, Grant Donnell, and Dalvin Cook. Well, I was pretty sure that our team got worse, but we are once again on top of the NFC North at mid-season mark, 7-1. Season is over, 13-4, second place in the NFC North. Green Bay Packers 1 win more than we have and getting the bye week. But again, a really strong year despite a worse team that we're having. And as always, rushing game looks really good. Passing game maybe not the best. Passing defense also not the best, so nothing has changed there. But an impressive year. Adoree Jackson with 5 interceptions. Danielle Hunter 13 sacks. Justin Jefferson again over 1,000 receiving yards. And Dalvin Cook 1,900 yards. 22 rushing touchdowns. That's crazy. And Isaac Staples, worse than last year in terms of passing yards and touchdowns, but only 1 interception, so that's not too bad. But the rushing game is what brought us all the wins. And we're playing the Saints again. And we win again after we won against them also in our first playoff game. Now into the divisional championship against the Green Bay Packers. It's first sim the other games. And against the Packers, we are losing. So we are out again, not being able to win in the divisional championship, losing against the Packers, who are now in the Super Bowl, and playing the Buffalo Bills and losing against the Bills. No season awards for us. Lots of Washington players in the Pro Bowl, but Dalvin Cook, as always, Elijah Vera Tucker and Brian O'Neill and Garrett Bradbury for our strong O-line. Donnell, our linebacker, also made the Pro Bowl. Michael Pierce, as always, and this time also Danielle Hunter and Odom for the second time. So that was one of the best 5th round selections that I've had. So this is the final overview. We played 5 seasons, 2 times with a losing record. One was really bad, but after that we made it into the championship game and lost 2 games in the divisional round. Overall, pretty good. We had some down years. We had some years where we were overperforming. I think that's quite normal. And for a middle of the road team, there are always some outliers, but in the end, regression to the mean and not being able to go all the way to win the Super Bowl. We were not lucky enough. So with the staying on track strategy, we were able to get into the playoffs and also win a few games there, but not able to win a Super Bowl. So let's take a look at another scenario and how it would be like if we would go all in from the beginning.